Hey everyone, what an amazing time to be looking at the Word of God. Today let's take a deep dive into the profound depths of Job chapters 38 through 40. These chapters are profoundly important in understanding God's creative power and His supreme authority over the universe. Ready to be inspired? Let's go. First up, Job 38. Here God himself starts speaking, challenging Job's understanding of the world. Picture this. God asks Job about the creation of the earth, the boundaries of the sea, the dawn, and the vast expanse of the heavens. It's like a cosmic tour, showcasing God's intricate design and control over nature. For us believers, this chapter is a huge reminder of God's majesty and the complexity of His creation. It's mind-blowing to think about how everything operates under His command. Next, we move to Job 39. This chapter continues the theme by diving into God's knowledge and governance over the animal kingdom. From the majestic eagle to the wild donkey, God describes various creatures, their behaviors and habitats. It's a testament to His wisdom and intimate involvement in the natural world. As Christians, this should leave us in awe, recognizing God's hand in every detail of life. Now, Job 40. Here, God directly addresses Job, asking if he can challenge or even understand the ways of the Almighty. This is a pivotal moment. It highlights the vast difference between God's infinite power and our human limitations. It's a humbling reminder that no matter our achievements, we are still limited compared to God's boundless might and knowledge. So why are these chapters important for us believers? First, they strengthen our faith. Seeing God's creative power in action reinforces our belief in His majesty and control over all things. Second, they encourage reverence. The detailed descriptions of creation and God's questions to Job foster a deep sense of worship towards God. We acknowledge His greatness and our dependence on Him. Third, they promote humility. Recognizing our limitations compared to God's omnipotence cultivates a humble heart, reminding us to trust in His wisdom and submit to His will. And finally, they inspire awe. The beauty and complexity of creation should fill us with wonder and gratitude, encouraging us to care for the world God has made. In conclusion, Job 38, 39, and 40 are must-reads for every Christian. They offer a profound perspective on God's creative power and sovereignty, reminding us of our place in His grand design. Studying these chapters deepens our faith, strengthens our worship, and humbles our hearts. So let's embrace this understanding and draw closer to our Almighty Creator. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with others. God bless.
Chapter 38. The Lord reveals His omnipotence to Job. Verse 1. Then the Lord answered Job out of the whirlwind and said, Who is this who darkens counsel by words without knowledge? Now prepare yourself like a man. I will question you, and you shall answer me. Where were you when I laid the foundations of the earth? Tell me if you have understanding. Who determined its measurements? Surely you know. Or who stretched the line upon it? To what were its foundations fastened? Or who laid its cornerstone when the morning stars sang together and all the sons of God shouted for joy? Or who shut in the sea with doors when it burst forth and issued from the womb? When I made the clouds its garment and thick darkness its swaddling band? When I fixed my limit for it and set bars and doors? When I said, This far you may come but no farther, and here your proud waves must stop. Have you commanded the morning since your days began, and caused the dawn to know its place, that it might take hold of the ends of the earth, and the wicked be shaken out of it? It takes on form like clay under a seal, and stands out like a garment. From the wicked their light is withheld, and the upraised arm is broken. Have you entered the springs of the sea? Or have you walked in search of the depths? Have the gates of death been revealed to you? Or have you seen the doors of the shadow of death? Have you comprehended the breadth of the earth? Tell me, if you know all this. Where is the way to the dwelling of light? And darkness, where is its place, that you may take it to its territory, that you may know the paths to its home? Do you know it because you were born then, or because the number of your days is great? Have you entered the treasury of snow, or have you seen the treasury of hail, which I have reserved for the time of trouble, for the day of battle and war? By what way is light diffused, or the east wind scattered over the earth? Who has divided a channel for the overflowing water, or a path for the thunderbolt, to cause it to rain on a land where there is no one, a wilderness in which there is no man, to satisfy the desolate waste, and cause to spring forth the growth of tender grass? Has the rain a father, or who has begotten the drops of dew? From whose womb comes the ice, and the frost of heaven who gives it birth? The waters harden like stone, and the surface of the deep is frozen. Can you bind the cluster of the Pleiades, or loose the belt of Orion? Can you bring out Mazzaroth in its season? Or can you guide the great bear with its cubs? Do you know the ordinances of the heavens? Can you set their dominion over the earth? Can you lift up your voice to the clouds, that an abundance of water may cover you? Can you send out lightnings, that they may go and say to you, here we are? Who has put wisdom in the mind, or who has given understanding to the heart? Who can number the clouds by wisdom, or who can pour out the bottles of heaven when the dust hardens in clumps, and the clods cling together? Can you hunt the prey for the lion, or satisfy the appetite of the young lions when they crouch in their dens, or lurk in their lairs to lie in wait? Who provides food for the raven, when its young ones cry to God and wander about for lack of food?
Do you know the time when the wild mountain goats bear young, or can you mark when the deer gives birth? Can you number the months that they fulfill? Or do you know the time when they bear young? They bow down, they bring forth their young, they deliver their offspring. Their young ones are healthy. They grow strong with grain. They depart and do not return to them. Who set the wild donkey free? Who loosed the bonds of the onager, whose home I have made the wilderness, and the barren land his dwelling? He scorns the tumult of the city. He does not heed the shouts of the driver. The range of the mountains is his pasture, and he searches after every green thing. Will the wild ox be willing to serve you? Will he bed by your manger? Can you bind the wild ox in the furrow with ropes? Or will he plow the valleys behind you? Will you trust him because his strength is great? Or will you leave your labor to him? Will you trust him to bring home your grain and gather it to your threshing floor? The wings of the ostrich wave proudly, but are her wings and pinions like the kindly storks? For she leaves her eggs on the ground and warms them in the dust. She forgets that a foot may crush them, or that a wild beast may break them. She treats her young harshly as though they were not hers. Her labor is in vain without concern, because God deprived her of wisdom and did not endow her with understanding. When she lifts herself on high, she scorns the horse and its rider. Have you given the horse strength? Have you clothed his neck with thunder? Can you frighten him like a locust? His majestic snorting strikes terror. He paws in the valley and rejoices in his strength. He gallops into the clash of arms. He mocks at fear and is not frightened, nor does he turn back from the sword. The quiver rattles against him, the glittering spear and javelin. He devours the distance with fierceness and rage, nor does he come to a halt because the trumpet has sounded. At the blast of the trumpet, he says, "Aha!" He smells the battle from afar, the thunder of captains and shouting. Does the hawk fly by your wisdom and spread its wings toward the south? Does the eagle mount up at your command and make its nest on high? On the rock it dwells and resides, on the crag of the rock and the stronghold. From there it spies out the prey. Its eyes observe from afar. Its young ones suck up blood, and where the slain are, there it is.
Job chapter 40, verse 1 to 24. Moreover, the Lord answered Job and said,
Shall the one who contends with the Almighty correct him? He who rebukes God, let him answer it.
And so the Lord spoke to Job, questioning his understanding and authority.
Then Job answered the Lord and said, Behold, I am vile. What shall I answer you? I lay my hand over my mouth. Once I have spoken, but I will not answer. Yes, twice, but I will proceed no further.
Humbled and overwhelmed, Job acknowledged his own insignificance before the Almighty. Then the Lord answered Job out of the whirlwind and said,
Now prepare yourself like a man. I will question you, and you shall answer me. Would you indeed annul my judgment? Would you condemn me that you may be justified? Have you an arm like God? Or can you thunder with a voice like his? Then adorn yourself with majesty and splendor, and array yourself with glory and beauty. Disperse the rage of your wrath. Look on everyone who is proud and humble him. Look on everyone who is proud and bring him low. Tread down the wicked in their place. Hide them in the dust together. Bind their faces in hidden darkness. Then I will also confess to you that your own right hand can save you.
The Lord challenged Job, emphasizing his own unmatched power and justice.
Look now at the behemoth which I made along with you. He eats grass like an ox. See now, his strength is in his hips, and his power is in his stomach muscles. He moves his tail like a cedar. The sinews of his thighs are tightly knit. His bones are like beams of bronze, his ribs like bars of iron. He is the first of the ways of God. Only he who made him can bring near his sword. Surely the mountains yield food for him, and all the beasts of the field play there. He lies under the lotus trees in a covert of reeds and marsh. The lotus trees cover him with their shade. The willows by the brook surround him. Indeed, the river may rage, yet he is not disturbed. He is confident, though the Jordan gushes into his mouth, though he takes it in his eyes, or one pierces his nose with a snare.